We on the road again, on our way to Dayton, Ohio. As you can see, this is not, this is not Delta Airlines. We're not on the plane. This ain't first class, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Vegas. We're on our way to Dayton, Ohio, and I decided, it's only 4 hours, so I decided to, get on the road and drive this one out so I could drive there, drive back the same night. Like, it's important for me if I can. I got 2 teenage children, you know what I'm saying, married. So when I can get into a city and get out and get home, it's like, that's like heaven for me. So I'm excited. This is my second time, coming. I was here last year. Proud to say last year, I talked to the baseball team and they won the championship last year. So I've been asked to come back and this time talk to the entire athletic student body. So yeah, I'm ready, man. Dayton, Ohio, got about 2 more hours to go. It's probably only about 200, a little bit over 200 miles, so nothing deep. What's up, everybody? Everybody good? I almost didn't make it. I passed the Waffle House on the way, and we don't have a Waffle House where I live. So I pulled in, and Chris said, you gotta come because they're waiting on you. So, yeah, if it wasn't for you guys, if it was just him, I'd be at the Waffle House right now. All right, so thanks, guys. You gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. And when I tell people to start small, like for real, think big, dream big, but start small. Approaching it almost like, it's chess. Because again, this ain't checkers, it's chess. You gotta be strategic. And so for me, every session I have, if I get an opportunity to meet with a large group of students who actually represent, statistics, that sample, and so I meet with this sample group, at least 1 or 2 leaders from every team, like I'm cheating because I'm getting the post, you know what I'm saying? So I'm doing breakfast first because I'm getting the post. Like the coaches are cool. Coaches are saying, Eric, you need to focus on this and you need to focus on that. And that's good, but the coaches ain't playing the game. So for me, I'm like, I want to sit down and talk to the students. I want to feel the pulse. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what they think. What's the culture? There are things that they can say to me as the actual athletes, as the leaders, the captains of these teams, that a coach can't give me because a coach is not, no disrespect, he's not on the field. He's not on the court. Because I don't want to do a speech, you can do it, do your best, or some stuff you heard me say on YouTube. I want to do a message that's specific to this group. And so I asked a question. And my question is, I've talked to some people from your athletic division about what I'm supposed to talk about. But those are people who have a certain amount of information. Like they're not necessarily on the field. So they have a perspective, and that's a great perspective because it will inform them how to coach you, etc. But you're actually there, like you actually are the student athlete. So it's important for me to know from you, in terms of your peers, what do you feel is missing? So I got a chance to sit down and hear for an hour. I got a chance to hear them talk. I watch what made them smile. What hurt them. What were they passionate about? What buttons do I need to push? And man, that breakfast, man, they said some things to me that I believe helped me to make it personal. And so we went from this broad, general, one-size-fits-all motivational message to a tailor-made message that was directly fit for the student athletes at Wright State University.
Makes it work. And so one of the guys in there, he transferred in from Mason out in Arizona Community College, so basketball. And so he was like, man, I seen this video last year. My coach showed it to me. Wow. He's speaking to us today? Wow. I'm like, yeah. So I literally started jumping up and down.
Praise God. So you said, what was about my man? You said you wanted to be a coach one day.
Yeah, yes, I told him, come on, it can't be from
Today, actually, we're at a state in our athletic department where the culture is changing. There's new times, leadership has changed back 3 years ago, and it haven't really turned the corner just yet. A lot of teams are experiencing early success, and we're looking for something that's impactful for the student athletes to really take on themselves and hold themselves accountable for the whole entire department changing together and not at separate times. So each and every student athlete taking pride about wearing that Wright State University uniform, about stepping on this campus and representing Wright State athletics in their classrooms, as well as when they go home wearing that jersey, as Eric said, or wearing that gear, that they're representing Wright State and know that they're contributing to the success that this university has experienced.
So what I'm hoping to do before I leave this place, I want to change the culture. And I can tell breakfast this morning. I I don't even know the young lady's name. What's your name right here, young lady? Sandra. Cassandra. I don't even know Cassandra. But Cassandra, when she came, she was already sitting down. I sat next to her, and you could see that it was something on her, like culture of winning. Like I could just tell her whole, like when she started talking, she wasn't telling jokes or playing or nothing. I was asking, who's here? Baseball, basketball, everybody cross country. She was like, track. Like they never got to say it, right? Somebody had kind of like, I guess, lumped the whole little thing together, like cross country, right? And she's like, 1 minute, please. Track and field, right? Like, don't get it twisted, right? She had this thing about her that was like, you know, like, I'm a competitor. I'm coming to compete. I watch some of you walk in here, I don't even know you, and I know you soft. I watch some of you walk in here, I can tell you just excited to be wearing a jersey. You call the people back at home, I play on the team. You've contributed absolutely nothing to the squads. But you just geek because you got the jersey on. You going home for Thanksgiving with the jersey on, right? Like you ain't got no other clothes, right? You just come in for Thanksgiving, Wright State University, right? You ain't put up a point. And so before I leave, I just want to create a culture. Listen to me. I'm not telling you got to win. I'm not telling you got to win every game you play. I'm not telling you that, but I am saying create a culture where you're not comfortable with losing. I'm going to say it again because you might have missed it. I'm not saying you got to win every single game, but you shouldn't be comfortable with losing.
I think, for me, I was so excited about getting, that call back from Wright State because it's about relationships for me. And so many speakers, unfortunately, their whole MO, their whole bravado is about, them personally, how they benefit from, certain opportunities. And for me, I'm trying my hardest to build such a relationship, make such an impact. I'm actually assessing myself, each gig that I do, and I'm saying, are they going to call me back? Because if they call me back, what's that saying to me is that, you are an asset, that it's something you said or something you did. We actually got more out of you than what we paid for. And so for Wright State, initially it was just the baseball team. But the baseball team, they're wearing rings now. Raiders. They won a championship in their division, and so they're like, now, not only should you come back to talk to the baseball team, but you need to talk to the entire athletic department. So for me, that was huge because it's saying, for real, you made an impact. You made a change.
My name is Rob Cooper. I'm the head baseball coach at Wright State University. This is my oldest son, Tyson, and my youngest son, Jake. That's right. And I'm always on YouTube or Googling different things to try to motivate our team. And I came across Eric's couple of his videos on YouTube and was just very, very motivated by his message. And got in contact with him, and he came down and spoke to our team, and our players loved him. In fact, carried that message through the year, and I definitely think it was something that played an integral part in us winning a championship last year. And the great thing about it is that I've been able to keep in touch with him and talk to him and everything, and continue that relationship.
Listen to me. Just when I thought I seen it all right? We at Wright State. Y'all know what it do. My man Steve Rogers. Steve, I ain't gonna tell you a story. When did you see? Tell me how it all. First time you saw your boy.
Saw you in your video on YouTube following, and then it inspired me, man.
So you were here, football,
I had to come
baseball?
back. I was a swimmer.
Okay.
Had to come back when I heard you were coming here, so.
Yeah, and so Steve comes back, we kicking it, he wants to hear the presentation, caught it. He said, E.T., man, you've inspired me, you know what I'm saying, you motivated me, you pumped me up, and I just got to show you something. And then he did this right here. I ain't gonna believe it. He tatted up. It says when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. All right? Unbelievable. Hey,
the ET tag. I'm about to get one.
This kid said this thing means so much to him that he had to get it tattooed, and he reads it every day when he wakes up in the morning, and he got it done on Thanksgiving because my man was like, I wanted to give thanks to you, E.T. Like, you spoke life into me. You helped change my life, my whole perspective about life. And so the way I'm going to say thank you is to put this joint on my body and read it every day. Unbelievable, bro. This journey is unbelievable.
I'm very motivated by what Eric's done. I wanted my kids to hear that. I felt like his message and the way he talks about things was definitely something that I needed to have them hear. Not just, I mean, they've watched the YouTube video as well, but I wanted them here to hear it. And, I think the thing that really separates maybe Eric from other motivational speakers is, again, you can tell he's really, really passionate about it. This isn't about making money for him and everything. It's about making a difference. I mean, the fact, like I said earlier, the fact that I can pick up the phone and call him like somebody I've known my whole life, that's a big thing. So you can tell that when he's here, he truly, truly cares about making an impact and about the people he touches.
If you are trying to take your program, your department, your institution to the next level, your organization, whatever it may be, if you have constituents and you try to turn that curve and get them around and raise above, it's almost like the Martin Luther King, I had a dream speech. I mean, he gets so impactful, he relates it to what's going on. He spends the time prior to learning so much about where he's going to speak and almost becoming a part of the culture himself that he's going to have an impact regardless of what you ask him to talk about, because he puts 110%, 120% behind it himself and learning about you and making sure he creates a message that you'll be able to take with you and not just say, hey, I'm put these notes aside, that you're going to post up on your sticky note and say, hey, I'm going to revert back to that tomorrow and I'm going to look at it the next day and the next day and we are going to be better. And that better is going to turn into greatness. And I believe that's what Eric brings to the table.